baseball. All we can gamble on is football. So we're going to have to expand our portfolio a bit. We're going to have to bring in some exotics. I present to you your first teaser of the year. What's a teaser, you ask? You look at the line. You can either add or subtract 6 points to the favorite or the underdog. So we're going to have a teaser Thursday night, Sunday. Thursday night, we're going to take the Falcons, 2-point dogs. We're going to tease them up to 8. What are we pairing them with? Greg Jennings' beloved Packers. Tease them from 7 down to 1. Falcons keep it within 8. Packers just win. You win money. No Christian McCaffrey tonight as an added bonus. That's your first teaser of the year, Jenna.
Okay, understand it now. In 2017, the Jets were chugging along at 5-11. They're always 5-11. Josh McCown was their quarterback. They're getting ready for the draft. They bring in a bunch of people. We found out yesterday, one of the people they brought in, a guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes. Well, they brought him in. They could have drafted him, could have had a quarterback. But you know what? They liked him. They interviewed him. They let him go. Well, with the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft that year, they selected safety Jamal Adams. So fast forward to this morning, Jets are 0-7. Their quarterback looks lost, and Jamal Adams no longer plays for the team. So all's well that ends well if you're a New York Jet. Let us talk Packers now, a team with slightly more success. I said it in a very relaxing tone. I did not get fired up. First time, long time. Former Packer Greg Jennings here to help us talk current Packers. A new report yesterday has Green Bay among the teams interested in trading for Texans wide receiver Will Fuller. Despite a history of injury problems, Fuller's played in all 7 games this year. When he's on the field, he's a dynamic weapon. When he's off the field, I'm sure he's good at other things, but that's not important now. Greg Jennings, do the Packers need to add another weapon for Nick to move them up a tier to true contenders?
Nick to move them up a tier. Nick, you should just move them up a tier. Stop treating them like that, man. They don't need to add anything else, but they do to make a deep run and to just secure that receiver room. I definitely think they do need to add a weapon. And to be honest, I look at the reports that are out there and Will Fuller, and I'm not high on Will Fuller because of the injuries and playing in the cold weather and just his level of play that he could provide. It would be good, but a guy to me that would fit this team to the T is a guy like Golden Tate. He's in New York. He's not winning anything. He's a big playmaker. He's an older guy who just wants to win at this stage in his career. He can make impact plays. He can play in the slot. He can play outside. He's durable. Go get Golden Tate, guys.
I like that.
I like it.
So here'd be my question, Brandon. Is receiver really the Packers' biggest need? Because last year, what was their problem? They got bullied by the Niners twice. They were, what were they last year? 14-2 against everyone not named San Francisco, and then 0-2 against San Francisco, right? And this year, what's the one game they've looked bad? The Bucs. They got bullied by the Bucs, and they couldn't stop the Bucs. So to me, if you're talking about the Packers making a move, if they're going to trade a significant asset, I would be a little more interested in seeing if, I don't know, Stephon Gilmore's available than if a guy such as Will Fuller's available. I would be more interested in finding out if I can add either some... No offensive linemen are going to come available. So either some defensive line or secondary help than wide receiver help at this point in the season, Brandon.
I just think the defense is too far off. And whenever you get an opportunity to maximize your time left with Aaron Rodgers, you do it. Because I go back to your days, Greg, when I look at this. Yeah, I'm with you, too. There's some better options out there. But whenever you can surround Aaron with talent the way they did back in the day with you, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, you had Randall Cobb come in there later, James Jones. Every time I turned on the TV, I'm like, this guy has 10 touchdowns. That guy has 10 touchdowns. You guys were unstoppable. So, Nick, you have a great point, right? Because they do need help. But I think this defense is more than capable of doing what Greg talked about earlier in the show, is just giving us more opportunities. This is not the Seattle Seahawks defense. So when I think about it, I just love surrounding Aaron Rodgers with more playmakers. This guy is magical. He's not the type of dude just drop back and throw it to Greg every single time. He's the type of dude that wants to get everyone involved. And when he has 3, 4 or pass catchers, man, it's over with for the NFL. So I like this, you know, especially with guys being banged up, Wilds.
So, Greg, my question is, when you see like Tampa, which has a pretty good offense, and they get Antonio Brown, like, we're going to get even better. That's one side of the coin. And then you look at Seattle, it's like, wow, we're terrible on defense. We need to really sort of solidify that. Packers are somewhere in between. Like, they don't really need a wide receiver, do they? Aaron Rodgers got 17 touchdowns, third in the league, and he's played one fewer games than Brady, and he's second in passer rating. So to me, it feels like, I don't know, I don't like flirting with the idea, because Aaron Rodgers consumes a lot of media, even though it says he doesn't. And it'd be like, we ended up not getting a wide receiver even after I read all these reports.
For me, I'm 100% in with what Brandon is saying. If you surround Aaron Rodgers with just unlimited access to talent and skill players, the sky is the limit. This is what he's always thrived with. This is what he's always typically had when we've seen the Packers overcome the lack of defensive play. And if they can't play the way everybody's saying the against the 49ers and the teams that play that tough, nasty, grinded out type of style of football, what we saw against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how you counter that is with offense. Put a group of guys on that field offensively that is going to create so much stress for the opposition defensively that gives you a chance every time you step on the football field.
Well, then let me throw a different name at you guys. And Brandon, I'll kick this one to you, because the Packers made a conscious choice not to go after a wide receiver this offseason. And I think part of that was they love Devontae Adams, obviously. They think they have a true number one. And the other is, I think they look at it and say, we've been developing Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Alan Lazard, and we want to continue to have them be involved in the offense. They've put, if not money resources into that position, time and rep resources into that position. If we're going to focus on the offensive side of the ball, one spot they didn't address in the draft, they haven't spent money on, they haven't spent reps on, is tight end. If we're talking about the Giants selling off pieces, what about buying super low on your brief teammate Evan Ingram? Former first-round pick, a guy who is in college showed flashes of being a big-time playmaker. In the NFL, has had some drops issues, isn't a great blocker, is, however, a big fan of first things first, big LeBron guy. What up, Evan? And maybe could use a change of scenery, Brandon. Like, Greg, you said you like it. How do you think that fits, Brandon?
Yeah, I'll pass it to Greg quickly here. I love it. I play with Evan. This dude is underachieving right now. He could easily be one of the most premier tight ends in the National Football League. He definitely could use a change of scenery, Greg. I don't know if you think he fits in there, but I think he does.
I 100% love that, Nick. And I think he fits in great. When I first saw Evan Ingram, he reminded me, he was so reminiscent of Jermichael Finley to me. He catches the ball well. You can split him out. He's really a hybrid wide receiver playing tight end with a huge frame. That would be phenomenal. I would love to see that. Again, the Packers need to make a splash. Why not?